Hello everyone, thank you for tuning in with V. Today we have a really great topic. Today we are going to be talking about detoxification and cleaning the body. I mean, everybody always wants to know how to detoxify their body. I'm constantly getting people coming to me and asking me, hey V, what do you suggest this? What do you think about this? All these different types of remedies and stuff that we see out there. Again, I will say it's not one size fits all, so it doesn't mean that it's good for everybody. You cannot do the same thing for everyone. So we're going to get into some of those topics here. So detoxification is more than a one-time remedy. It is a daily process. If you think about it, we constantly have to detoxify our body. And you're probably like, well, I don't do that. Well, if you poop, you're detoxifying your body. You need to. In order to do that, we need to be drinking plenty of liquids. We need to be drinking plenty of liquids that are going to hydrate us, foods that are going to hydrate you so you can help push out and get that detoxification going. Okay? So it is a skill to learn how to detoxify your body. It is just not just a one-time thing. We learned it on social media and, oh yeah, I know how to detox my liver. I'm so sick and tired of all that. Like, people seriously don't know how to really love and care for their organs the way they should. They want this quick fix. Please don't be those people. Please don't be that individual. You need to learn how to do it and master it to your own body. Everybody's body is so unique. Everybody's body is unique. I can't detoxify my body the way you're going to detoxify your body. And we have to understand that. You've heard me on several other episodes, or if you talk to me in person or see me on my Instagram or social media, you'll hear me tell you that everybody's body is different. You cannot treat someone's body the exact same as somebody else's. So we really need to pay attention to the fact that your body may be screaming for something else and starting it out differently than someone else that's saying, hey, I did that, and you guys have the same diagnosis. So just know that detoxification is a skill, and the skill is understanding how your body mechanism is going, how it's flowing, what makes it function, what doesn't make it function, what are those mediators. We have to understand what those things look like, okay? So we first must need to understand that our own unique body is we need to start with the beginning of any kind of remedy or exercise. We need to start it out and understand it's unique. We have to customize it for our own, whether it is a remedy that we're trying to do for detoxification, whether it is an exercise to help detoxify us, because as we move, we're detoxifying. We're pushing things out and away from other things and pushing things to help build things up. So we need to understand that. We also need to understand what our abilities are. If we can't understand that, it's really hard. Like, no joke, you're not going to see me go deadlifting right now. This is not going to happen. And honestly, I have no interest in deadlifting. And someone say, oh, wow, that's going to build this and this and this muscle. I could beg to differ. There's other ways to build that muscle. And muscle doesn't begin with me pumping weights. Muscle is going to begin with what I'm pumping in my mouth. That is what's going to feed my muscle. That's going to choose if I'm giving it enough oxygen or I'm pushing against that grain. What is it that I'm doing to help benefit the body? Okay, so we need to look at all those things and understand our own uniqueness. Understand your body. Don't just say, yeah, I'm going to go hit the gym. I'm going to do this. I got to do that. And that's what no. First, understand your own unique body. Where is your body at right now? What is your body telling you? My body is telling me right now, as soon as I'm done with this recording, I'm going to go home and I'm going to take a nap. That is what my body is telling me. Like, I need to seriously take a nap. I have a long drive ahead of me later on today. I really need to rest my body. No matter how much I need to do X, Y, and Z, my body is going to come first, because I'm not going to be able to do X, Y, and Z if I'm not taking care of me first. You constantly will hear me say that. So understanding what your body is saying to you, what it is you need to do, and prioritizing that, valuing it, respect it, and then execute it with the finesse, okay? So we need to stay off of those trends that we're constantly seeing on social media. We need to stop thinking that just that one size fits all. Perfect example is This apple cider vinegar has not been a dying trend. It comes up, it comes up, it comes down, and people are still, oh, how about some apple cider vinegar? You know, I did apple cider vinegar every morning, every night for, oh my goodness, for maybe 3 to 4 years. I was highly overweight. My body was extremely acidic. I needed to balance out. My body was screaming for help. So I did that. Would I do it now? No, absolutely not. Apple cider vinegar is going to be great for certain circumstances, for certain situations. It's not going to be an everyday remedy for a long period of time. So we honestly need to know how to make that work for us. And if you don't know how, this is where you find a nutrition counselor, a holistic practitioner, or maybe even an herbalist that if it's an herb that needs to, you know, coincide with your daily routine to help you function to detox, because there's a lot of herbs out there that will help you detoxify your body. So we need to understand how those things work. So apple cider vinegar is great, but it's not going to necessarily be something we just need to jump on it. There's even another one that was a maple syrup with cayenne pepper and some lemon juice and chugging that down. That is hot. Been there, done that, did that too. Haven't done it in years. Would I recommend for myself to do it now? No, I would not. There are certain people that I probably say that might be something, you know, that needs a good kickstart, but then learning how to back it up. And not because you did it when you were 20, you could do it now in your 40s or 50s. You have to pay attention that your body has been through from your 20s to your 50s, been down some journeys. We've been down some avenues. There's oxidative stress that's involved. There's all kinds of different emotional stress, different traumas, different things that have happened that you're gonna have to take other steps in order for your body to take proper detoxification. So don't go down that. Then the other one that I want to mention is intermittent fasting. I know I've mentioned this on another previous video, but I want you to understand that you are fasting when you're sleeping. And if you are not getting enough sleep, sleep some more, so then you could fast some more, right? This is where your body is going to be able to heal and digest when it's resting. You want it to be able to restore, but it can't do those things if you're not sleeping enough. So if you only got 5 hours, 6 hours sleep, and you want to sit there and tell me or be like, she don't know what she's talking about. I've been getting 5 hours sleep my whole life. How is it working for you? How do you feel every day? Are you at your best? Are you content? If you're content with yourself, cool, that's fine. But if you're not content with yourself and you're not at your best, then we need to back it up. We need to re-examine it and look out for what it is. What are we going to do to make this change, right? So intermittent fasting is great, but you're doing that when you're sleeping. So now it's about choosing the right substance that you're going to eat when you wake up. What is going to be your go-to? Like we've talked about before, is it going to be coffee and a donut or a bagel? Or maybe because I threw some cream cheese on it or I threw some avocado on it and it's all great. Not if you got a fatty liver. Not if you don't have a gallbladder. That's not going to be great for you to have. So those are the things that people don't pay attention to, but they think because it's healthy, it's this trend, this is what they're doing, this is what's at this coffee shop and they're selling it and it looks so healthy and nutritious, but they're not understanding the fundamentals of what it's going to do to process through all of this, going down to excrete, to have its true detoxification and cleansing through the body, okay? So detoxification should take steps. It doesn't mean like I'm just gonna go doing it all right now. I just had the most horrible diet this past few weeks and all of a sudden I'm gonna go into intermittent fasting. No. Or I'm gonna go into one of these trends that I'm talking about. No. You don't expect yourself to go from a carnivore kind of meal lifestyle to becoming a healthy vegan, a mucusless vegan. And we're going to have another episode about mucus and mucusless and what that looks like. But for right now, just know that you're just going from one to A to B. You can't go through that if not. There's like 8.1, 8.2, 8.3, all the way down maybe 12, 13, 14, 15. And then we're going to go down to the next one. And we're going to keep going down until your body masters that. And then we're going to introduce something else to it. If you're going to constantly, shock your body, you're wondering why you're going through these episodes. You're wondering why you're going through this roller coaster ride. You're wondering why you're going through your menopause or your menopause. It's because you're putting your body through all of this trouble. You should not have to be going through that. So understand that this should take steps, baby steps. Always going to hear me say baby steps. It's not always starting out with just the gut. People think detoxification is only here. It's not. We got detoxification in the liver, in our kidneys, in our respiratory, in our lymphatic. We got lymphatic system going on everywhere. We got lymphatic in our neck. We got lymphatic in our armpits. We got lymphatic in our groins. We got lymphatic behind the legs. We got lymphatic in our ankles. So we got lymphatic system that flows everywhere. What you put in your body is going to come out 3 ways. And you always hear me say it: pee, poop, and skin. If it's not, it's going to start housing somewhere. It's going to house in your liver, your kidneys, your lymphatic system. It's already in your blood system. And then we're wondering why it's starting to feed our cells the way it is. Why we end up having cancer. We're not detoxifying and cleansing the body the way it needs to be. There's steps that need to be involved. Don't shock your body. Do you get in your car and go and automatically you had unleaded? You're putting unleaded into your car and then you go put premium in your car or put diesel in your car? What's going to happen if you put diesel in a car and it's not diesel? You're going to be knocking and you're going to kill that engine. You're going to kill that transmission unless you're driving a Tesla and you don't have this problem. However, not everybody has an electric car these days, but not everybody has a perfect body. There's no such thing. We were already tainted the day we were born. There were so many things that were going on. We were tainted the day that we were conceived. Depending on what your mom and dad were doing before you were conceived is starting your mechanism. So that explains to me as a nutrition counselor how I'm going to help you and support you through your detoxification. I cannot help you detoxify through the same process as I would recommend for somebody else. So just understand that it will start and need to take steps in those things. And the other thing that detoxification has to start with is the brain. It must start with the brain. The brain is the most important thing that we have in our whole life, in our whole functionality, in our whole body. It's like you cannot operate if you cannot think. What are you going to do? You just honestly can't. You have to be able to think and have this process of things you're going to think about to be able to execute and do. So it makes a very huge difference on what it is we're going to be doing, right? So we have to detoxify our brain. Our brain needs cleansing. You know, this is where, yes, I am a godly woman. I don't even like labeling myself a Christian woman because there's so many things out there today that say they're Christians and I don't really believe that they are. So I am just a woman of God who believes in my Heavenly Father and that Jesus is the first and only King. And so with that being said, we have to detoxify our brain. How we think is a process of what it is we're going to be choosing. This is where we're going to process all of our knowledge. That is whether it's going to come out to be wisdom or foolishness. It is entirely up to you. We get free will by our Heavenly Father. So it is up to you on what it is you need to do, but you need to detoxify the brain. So it's not always necessarily in let's start with the gut and let's do a liver cleanse. I get people, oh, you just need to do a liver cleanse. You may need to do a brain cleanse because you're going to go back to eating the way you were after you do the liver cleanse and your poor liver. Like seriously, we're talking on social media about these poor chickens. What about your poor liver? Like we should talk about poor livers. Like seriously, I just came up with that thought right now because we put our liver through so much trauma, so much pain. Our kidneys and our liver are screaming out to you saying, please detoxify me and cleanse me out correctly. And nobody knows how. So this is where you call me. This is where you email me, get in tune with me, so in touch. So this way we can get in tune with each other and figure out what is the best roadmap we could come up for you. Okay, so I honestly believe that detoxification and cleansing begins with the brain first. It's a thought process, because whatever we start with, that thought is going to be that action, and that action becomes that habit. And guess what that habit becomes? Do you know? Do you remember from previous episodes? It becomes your lifestyle. That is your lifestyle you're choosing. I'm choosing no more to eat fish. I love fish. I absolutely love fish. Now, if I get the fish and I saw the fish out in that ocean and I know the fisherman, I'm going to eat that fish. I might eat it. I know what it is. It's mucus and pus. However, I'd rather eat that fish than eat the fish at the supermarket, because I don't know if they took that fish and made it look new so I can be fooled and manipulated to think that I'm eating healthy. No. So I'd just rather opt out of it, not eat it at all. So that's the difference. If I know the farmer and I have a relationship and the farmer is honest and not foolish, they're going to tell me the truth, then great. Just like the farmer that I know, that where I do promote people, if they're going to buy eggs, this is the only vendor I promote to buy eggs from. Know your source. Know where it comes from. Know how they feed that animal or even the plant. Because, you know, you do have to give your plants love and attention. You have to do things to help it grow. So know and ask those questions, because if you don't know, your body's not going to be able to detoxify it the way it's supposed to. It's going to get stuck somewhere and it's not going to be functioning. And it's like throwing a little bit of sugar down your gas pipe right now. What is that going to do to your car? I mean, does anybody know what sugar does to your gas pipes, to your whole car? It's going to shut it down. And that's exactly what we're doing. We're slowing down our process of detoxification and cleansiness when we go start a detox and we go back to the same normal thing that we were doing before. It's not going to work that way. So it's definitely going to have to start with your thoughts, detoxifying your brain, those thoughts first, so you could build healthy actions, so then you can have great habits. And then, you know what? It's a natural lifestyle for you. I'm not going to eat that. I'm going to eat this. I'm going to look at this. I'm not going to read those things. I'm not going to be in that environment with those type of people, because you know what? Sometimes we need to detoxify the people in our lives, not always just the food. It's not always about food. I was just talking with a godly brother about God is a God of principles. So this is a principle here, people. This is a principle that I'm giving you right now, that it is across the board, that you need to detoxify your spirit, your mind, and your body on a regular basis. Always. God tells us to examine our hearts every single day. Why are we not doing it? Meditate on His word day and night. Why? Why do we have to eat fruits and vegetables every day? Because it helps detoxify our bodies. It detoxifies our mind. It detoxifies our spirit. We need to be able to do all these things in order to function, to have a purpose in life. If we're not, and we're just, it's like, I remember a long time ago, it was, what's his name, that, oh my gosh, I just got tongue-tied with who is the character for Mrs. Doubtfire. And he's like, do a hot dog. I mean, is that who you want to be, just there, like nothing? It's Robin Williams. That's what it just came to my head. So when I think of that, like, you just want to be still, do nothing. Like, we all have a purpose in life. What is your purpose? Because if you don't know that, then you don't know how, and you're wondering why your life is so chaos, and your body is not being cleansed out the way it is, your mind is not being cleansed out the way it is, your spirit is not being cleansed out the way it should be. Things are not functioning correctly. We really need to have it all be together. I mean, I constantly say it all has to fit, right? It has to fit. If it's not fitting and if we're doing this, What are we doing? Wasting time, energy, money for what? Like, what are you doing? So we have to start with our brain first. Okay, we are choosing what it is that we eat. Why are you choosing those things? Majority of the time lately, all I've been choosing to do is eat one meal a day. Throughout the day, if I do eat something, I'm eating, if it's not a fruit, it's a vegetable. That's my snack. I'm drinking water, I'm drinking my teas, my herbal teas, because I'm choosing not to put any crap down my body. I'm just not. I don't buy it, I'm not bringing it into my home, and it makes it a whole lot easier when it's not in my sanctuary. It's not in my home. It's not in my dwelling place. So if it's not there, I'm not gonna go out to go get it. Now, when you go out, it becomes hard, it becomes tempting, but when you strengthen yourself and detoxify your body in your sanctuary, when you come up against those things, guess what? Another principle. It doesn't entice you. You don't want to be involved in those things. You don't want to take action with those things. You just don't want to have anything to do with it. And that is where it's going to become easier for you to detoxify and cleanse your body. We choose to feel the way we feel. Absolutely. And what I mean by that is that we actually are choosing to stay in that thought process once it arises in our brains. So we think about it. In the church, there were times that, like, oh, Satan's going to sow a seed in our head. He can only sow seeds in your head, throw things into your head, right? And I think about it. I'm like, okay, there's things and actions that are going to happen. We could choose to act like a fool, or we can choose to be wise and opt out and seek what God wants us to do in our lives. I choose not to act like a fool. When I had researched the book of Proverbs, there was over 360 plus verses that said about being a fool. And I read it twice. I'm not going to be a fool. And I handwrote every scripture that said about being a fool. Did it take time for me to get from that time that I read that to the time where I'm at right now? Absolutely. It's a process. And that is what I'm saying, that it takes time, baby steps. Sow the seed and just let it run. Let it go. Let it rise up to the ability and capabilities that it can, because you're trusting in God doing what needs to be done. So the same thing is going to happen in your body. You're going to sow those seeds in your body. It's going to be a process. You're going to slowly stop eating and opting out of those things. And then guess what's going to happen? You're going to start seeing some results. It doesn't always happen overnight. If you're looking for that quick fix, it's not going to happen. Guess what? Even if you do any of these remedies that I talked about a few minutes ago, it is not going to happen overnight where you're just, oh, you might lose 5 pounds. You might lose 10 pounds. Well, guess what? People are full of literally feces, 5 to 30 pounds of crap in here. So when you say, well, I lost 10 pounds, yeah, because you're already full of it. It was there. It wasn't because that remedy helped it. It was already there. It might have helped push it out a little bit more, but you're pretty sure you probably got 20 pounds more left inside there. You'd be surprised on the amount of toxic waste somebody has inside their body. If you go get a clinolic or sign up to go get a clinolic and talk to the clinician, the person there at the office, let me tell you, they're going to explain it all to you of how much in this 8 feet of intestines you have going on, of crap you have that is stored. If you think of your house as this house here, as your home that you live in, you have pipes that run through your home. And in those pipes, there's layers and layers and layers within that pipe, right? That is like, if this pipe, this is a pipe, and this is all the passageway that you have here, like my bracelet. This is all that you have. This is all you're about to excrete out of your body. What my arm is the amount of feces, of crap that's inside your body. And as long as you're flowing through, you're thinking you're okay. But you need to get rid of this hand, right? Which is the other part of the waste. But we're thinking we're pooping every single day, we're good. We're detoxifying our body. We took that remedy, we pooped, it's okay. It excreted out of our body. Not necessarily true. I personally myself have a lot of buildup still that I am slowly decreasing out of my body. Why am I doing it slowly? Because I love my liver. I love my organs. I love my gallbladder that the doctors tell me that I don't really need and that I could still live, and absolutely I can live without it. But it has a function. It has a purpose. If it didn't, God wouldn't have put it there. I wouldn't have been designed this way. I love my lungs, my reproductive system. I love my brain. I love my skin, my largest organ. So, we're all trying to, look a certain way and feel a certain way, but we're not paying attention to what the process is on the inside, to manage that process, to execute that process, okay? So in all of that, we must choose what we're doing first. What we put in our bodies, our minds, and our spirit is going to tell us what we're craving. We're constantly going to be craving those things that we put in our bodies. I've said it before on several other episodes. If you met me, I've said it before. I will continue to say it because what you put in is going to come out and it's going to want more. What do you want? Do you want that cheeseburger? You want them chili cheese fries? No, they're not good. I'll agree with you. It does taste good, and I could make a killer burger, and I can make some killer chili cheese fries, and I can make a lot of great toxic food that is not good for me. But I also can make a lot of great food that is good for you. Vegetables and fruits and stuff that you thought, wow, I thought I would never ever taste anything like that. Good buckwheat, and turn them into good pancakes that are very nutritious for you versus you eating an IHOP or a Denny's pancake, or something out of a box, an Aunt Jemima or whatever. It's like, not that that stuff's not good, but is it good for you? Eating and feeding your body what is good for you. And so I teach my clients how to cook. I will teach them how to shop. I will teach them how to gravitate to these things because you are important. You have to understand that your body is your biggest asset and you cannot give anybody what you don't have. You have to understand this. If you don't understand that and you're over there looking for all these different little things to cleanse and detox and, get snatched up and tipped up and snucked up and all that, this video is not for you. This conversation is not for you. I'm talking to those who really want to hear this, that are in that crossroads, that like, man, I really need to. I know I need to. I'm teeter-tottering this. Been there, done that. Now it's time to just jump into the deep end. Or start from this, jump in the pool, right? Jump in the pool. We'll start in the little kiddie section and we'll walk our way to where now you can start doing laps on your own. That is what I do. That is what I teach people to do because it is important. You have to understand why you're getting those cravings. My husband will tell me sometimes, it tastes good right now. And it reminds me so much of my grandmother because she used to do the same thing. I think the only healthiest thing that she would do is say, I want some cottage cheese and not that it's healthy. I'm just saying the healthiest thing she would choose is cottage cheese with pineapple on it. Now it was canned pineapple, it wasn't fresh pineapple, and it was cottage cheese. And I'll be like, mucus and high fructose corn syrup. And I was like, and back then it was like, oh yeah, that sounds good, But there's times where I would say, what sounds good is some onion rings, But instead of having some onion rings, I'll go make me some grilled onions and throw that on top of a salad with maybe some mushrooms and maybe some roasted bell peppers on top of that as well. And throw some sun-dried tomatoes on it or some fresh tomatoes and grill that up. And then put that on my salad. That is phenomenal with some extra herbs. And most people don't think outside the box. They just want that onion ring that's going to clog them up, that's going to slow the process down of what we're talking about, detoxification and cleansing the body out. And it's going to give you diabetes, high cholesterol, hypertension. What else I mean, there's laundry lists. It's absurd to see how many things that are going on in this world today or going on in your own individual body. You're only one human and you probably got more than 2, 3 things going on up in here, and you're like, you're not slowing it down. Because like we've talked about, you know, on previous episodes, you don't want to get out of your comfort zone. You want to stay within your comfort zone. You want to be there. You're stuck and you don't know how. This is where you call someone like me or someone that can support you and help you to better your life, to become a better version of yourself. Because if that is not honestly what you want, like I said, this video is not for you. So if you're craving those things, it's because it's trying to come, it's what you're putting in your body. So if you put in the world in your body, guess what's going to come out? The world. I was just talking about this with somebody else. I mean, if you're going to put anger into your body, allow anger, it's cool to retaliate. It's okay to, you know, act like a fool with that other person. If you're going to put refined sugars and processed foods into your body, what are you going to get? Brain fog, fatigue. You're going to be slowed down. You're going to be tired. And guess what else you're going to have? Inflammation. All those joints, your achiness, your pain that you got. How many people I see now, knee surgery is up to the roof because people are morbidly obese, the weight that they can't get off, but they're still being addicted to that sugar, to that trans fats. They're constantly just feeding themselves with that instead of slowing it down. I'm not saying opt out completely right now. That's the goal. However, slow it down. So this way you can't do that. But if you don't have support, if you don't have someone in your corner helping you and everyone else in your family is doing that. I have a friend where her family, she has sensitivities to certain foods that she can't eat. So it doesn't help encourage her to promote her to eat right. So she still eats and fiddles every now and then. And I tell another friend, I'm like, she's not completely, you know, this, I think it's celiac. I said, no, she's not completely celiac. She's sensitive. However, if her family is not encouraging her and they're still eating, she still has to make 3 other diets, 3 different meals for the husband, for the kids, for herself. I would not do that. Like, we're all eating, you know, gluten-free. We're all going to eat no mucus. I've already told my family, I'm not buying fish no more. Unless you're buying it, then I'm not buying it. And you're not bringing it up in this house. I'm just not doing it. I'm not going to entice. Because the Bible also tells us not to hinder our brothers and sisters. Don't do that. If that person don't eat meat, why are you going to eat meat in front of them? I mean, unless they're comfortable with it. Like sometimes, like for me, if I'm in that process, please don't do that to me yet. Like afterwards, I'm cool. I don't even care. We're good. You know, you could act a fool. I'm not going to even get triggered and jump in there and try to defend you. You know, I'm not going to try to be your ally in that. Nope, it ain't going to happen. So always know that these things that you're going to do, it's going to give you that, okay? So you put good nutritious foods in you, what are you going to get? You're going to get energy. You're going to get things done. You're going to start seeing results in your body, in your mind, in your spirit. You're going to be like, man, like I talked about before on a previous episode, like by 9 o'clock, I was done. And I love it now. Like literally right now, I could honestly tell you, I get up, I get out of my bed, my body doesn't ache anymore. I have energy until it's time for me to go to sleep. And I actually sleep well. Am I at where I need to be as far as the way I would like to look or no? But I am feeling the results. I am detoxifying my body. I'm at the point where I'm only eating a little bit of mucus a day, very little, if any. So now I'm not even craving it. But the more I eliminate, out of the less that I eat, the more I'm eliminating and I'm seeing it come out. It's not feeling good because when you detoxify your body and you fast, when you're fasting because you're sleeping and you wake up and you're sleeping and you feel all what we call caca mouth, all nasty, your tongue is white, you feel that film on your teeth, that is mucus coming out of your body. When you got bad breath, that's mucus coming out of your body. Your body's saying hello, like we talked about at our previous episode. It's screaming at you. It's telling you something. Get it out. It doesn't need to be here. It's like the Bible says that good and evil cannot dwell in the same place. If good and evil can't dwell in the same place, guess what? Refined sugar and trans fats and natural whole foods cannot dwell in the same place. It's not going to function right, period. Okay? So just remember that. You're going to get natural energy. You're going to get things done. And if you meditate and pray, what are you going to get? You're going to get relaxation, calmness. And the best thing that most people, what I call the ungettable, get, understanding. Understanding any of this, whether it's the Word of God, whether it is how your body functions, whether it's about food. When you get that understanding, to me, it's called the ungettable get. Because that is gold. That is so gold and so precious. That is the gold that God is talking about. It is so precious. Because when you understand His Word, you understand His foundation, you understand that this body that He gave you is your temple, you're going to treat it right. That is going to be the full. Because you can't go do the magnitude that He wants you to do. You can't get up and do the energy and the volume and all the things that you have to when you're eating refined sugar, when you're eating trans fats, when you're eating processed foods, because it's just slowing you down. You're like, hold up, God, I can't go do it because, this is what I'm thinking about first before you. When He says, don't worship anything else other than me. Something to think about. For all of you that are out there wanting to detoxify and cleanse your body, it's going to start with you. It's going to start with that thought process first. Start detoxifying your brain. You need some help, you need some support, please feel free to reach out to me. You can reach me on my Instagram, Vitality with V. I'd be happy to support, to optimize your health, to help you become a better version of yourself. Thank you for tuning in today with V. I appreciate you. Please feel free to comment and share and like, and touch base with me on my Instagram. I would love to reach out and touch base with you if you reach out to me. We'll